Take care of her.
I promise.
Seatbelts.
What's going on, YouTube, TikTok, folks that follow me on the podcast? Lamont Tyson back in the building, giving you my review of the movie The Creator. It came out 3 weeks ago, and some of the details of this movie I'm about to give you are mind-blowing. But at the end of the day, you want to know whether it's worth you going to see in the theater, and we're going to talk about it right now. Please be sure to find me on YouTube, on the TikTok, and download the podcast. You can follow me on Instagram and Twitter too. Let's get into it.
I'm up early for the dealers come out. Everybody is outside till the killers come out. You ain't eating, you just act full. I'm impactful. Dozen funerals in a month. I got that pull. I will give it to niggas in all rap forms. Ignatius out right now on all platforms.
So this movie, ladies and gentlemen, is created and directed by Garth Edwards. He's the same guy that did Rogue One and Godzilla. I kind of like this guy. I think he does a great job. And when you really think about the synopsis and how the movie played out, there gets to be a point where this movie reminds you of Logan or The Last of Us, meaning that you have an older adult with a child who, and this particular child has certain features that could save, destroy, or end the world. So you do have a lot of that. There is no Terminator feel. Even though it's about robots and robots taking over, it's nothing like that. This movie stars John David Washington, who is Denzel Washington's son. He plays Joshua. Gemma Chan, she plays Maya, who is the daughter of the creator, but there's a twist with that. And she's also the wife and baby mama for Joshua. Allison Janney, she plays Hal, and she is basically the antagonist in this thing, and she hates AI because at some point in time, AI killed both of her sons in the war. So she doesn't like AI, which will go ahead and give you the setup of what's going on. And then we had Madeline Yana, who plays Alfie, the child that you see John David Washington following around, helping out. And this was her first time in anything, ladies and gentlemen. And I gotta say, she did a good job. And in this movie, she has the ability to control all technology, ladies and gentlemen. Damn, this chick is amazing. And we're going to talk about it right now. So the plot of this movie, ladies and gentlemen, it's set in 2055, and we have AI that we assume blows up a nuclear bomb in Los Angeles. And after that, America decides, and the Western allies decide, man, fuck AI. We're going to take out AI. We don't want to have nothing to do with AI. But here's the problem, ladies and gentlemen. There are some people that get along with AI. So there's a refuge for AI, and it's called New Asia. Does that kind of remind you of a parallel between China technology in America and our kind of history of beefs with Asia and China? Yeah, kind of reminds you of that. And so, ladies and gentlemen, the U.S. decides, you know what? Because of what happened, we're going to go on the attack against AI, and we don't give a damn that New Asia is friendly toward AI or helping AI. We're going to destroy it. And they come up with this floating boomerang in the sky they call Nomad, ladies and gentlemen, that seeks out and destroys AI, and it's loaded with missiles. Kind of like what Iron Man said in his movie, we need a suit of armor in the sky around the world. Well, that's what Nomad is, in suborbital space, floating around looking for AI so they can eventually destroy it. And then we get on to the situation with John David Washington, who plays Joshua. He's working undercover in New Asia, and he gets his wife pregnant, Maya. She's thought to be killed by Nomad when they decided they're going to start raiding and destroying all the AI strongholds, and New Asia is the basic one. And when his wife is killed, my man basically feels sad. He goes away. And then 5 years later, ladies and gentlemen, Joshua is recruited by the U.S. military to go find a super weapon that was somehow or another created in New Asia that is set to be able to destroy all technology. And they bait him into going to look for this by saying that his wife is still alive somewhere in New Asia. Well, I guess you know what happens now. This is when the story turns into Logan, Last of Us, and any of those where someone is taking care of a child with a lot of power. He finds Alfie. who is set to have the likeness and consciousness of the baby that him and Maya was pregnant with that she never had. Only difference is the child looks a whole lot Asian. There ain't a lot of black in this child. And when he finds Alfie, he basically kind of falls in love with the girl and turns tails and learns that the creator wasn't somebody else. The creator really was Maya. Wow, ladies and gentlemen. And then throughout this story, he is trying to help Alfie get up to Nomad and destroy Nomad, because now he's realizing what is really and truly going on is all the big hoax. The AI never destroyed LA. What really and truly happened to LA was bad code was written by humans. Listen to that parallel. Bad code was written by humans that caused a nuclear bomb to drop on LA. So instead of it being AI taking over and destroying humanity, it was really humanity that made an error that AI wouldn't have made that caused this whole entire thing. And with him realizing that and him having this love for this child that he feels like is his baby, they go up to Nomad, they try to shut down Nomad, and eventually they do. But you can see by the stressed look in John David Washington's damn hair that it ain't good for a brother in this movie, because his ass died. Now, the girl, Alfie, she survived, and I thought that she did a great job in her acting, and you'll probably like the way she's able to control the technology. Now, you have two sets of robots. You have these robots that look like humans, but the back of their head is blown off, and they got two big ass donuts on the side of their head that are supposed to be not ears, but I guess spinning something that they can download and upload shit into. Then you kind of got like short circuit robots throughout the whole thing. In any event, ladies and gentlemen, John David Washington's acting in this thing was, the same thing you expect from him. He didn't steal the show per se, but this new young lady, Madeline Yuna, who plays Alfie, she damn sure stole the show. And when it comes to the main villain, Allison Janney, who I do like, she does a great job. Her role as a villain really didn't hit home for me. She was mad and she was emotional that her kids were killed in war due to the AI and the technology. But her chasing down John David Washington really didn't do it for me. And this film is supposed to be more of an emotional film, and I really didn't grab on to that. But this is what I did grab onto and made me feel special. The world that was created in this thing is beautiful. It is a must-see in theaters because of the way it looks. I mean, the technology, the visuals, the planets, the space. Even though I picked on Nomad looking like a big-ass boomerang in the sky, it still looked great. The robots look great. The only knock I got on the movie is that they tried their best to make this an emotional tie, and it didn't land on me as an emotional tie. I do give it a lot of credit for being an original movie, and this is the lesson anyone can learn from this movie. If you want to know how to make a beautiful visual movie with a whole lot of CGI and visual effects, this is the damn movie to do it. I had no idea what the budget was for this movie, and then when I looked it up, I was like, ain't no way in hell. Because I thought this thing was like a $200 million movie for all the visual effects. Ladies and gentlemen, they only spent $80 million to put this movie together. That is unreal. And it's an original story, quote unquote. But here's the problem, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know what happened. I don't know why it didn't do well at the movies. But in its third week, the movie only grossed $32 million. And, it's 1/3 of being close to profitable, but that's just not what they expected. And I don't know if it's the marketing that could have done better, if it's the fact that it's a new story that could have made this thing do better, or if it just didn't look right visually. Because when I seen the trailers, nothing about it made me want to go see it. I'm just being real with you. Now, I'm glad I went to see it because the visuals are great. The story's okay. It ain't the best. It's not the worst. It's just okay. But the visuals did it for me. And so if you're going to go see it, I would suggest seeing it in theater just because of the way the visuals and the sound are hitting theaters. But overall, ladies and gentlemen, on a life gain scale, I do these 0 to 10. I would give this movie 6.5. I did like it. I felt like it went a little long because it's about 2 hours and some change. And I felt like the emotional attachment they wanted you to have, I really didn't get that. But it is entertaining. Your eyes will be having orgasms because it looks so beautiful. But overall, if you're the type of person that don't care about the sound and the visuals, you can definitely wait. And it looks like this thing is just not going to do well in theaters. But let me know if you've seen it. Please post me all your comments. Did you see why John David Washington's hair was so messed up because he was stressed? Don't forget to like the video, comment, subscribe, get that life game. Be sure to download the podcast. Be sure to follow me on TikTok, Instagram. Let's push out my mission, ladies and gentlemen, of everything I'm doing and reviewing. And until that next Sex is Hell video, I'ma see you.